Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Wakeup for Thursday, August 29th, 2019.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
Here is your summation of the entertainment, media, and tech stories to know as you start your day. Today's Wake Up is brought to you by HBO's Succession, airing Sunday nights at 9 p.m. on HBO, or watch episodes anytime on their streaming service, HBO Now.
Someone spiked the deal. Which one of you boys did it? His news. I will win.
Let's get to the news. Martin Scorsese's highly anticipated The Irishman will not have a wide theatrical release after all, despite Marty's wishes. As per how every other Netflix movie release has gone, the major theater chains balked at Netflix's proposed 30-day theatrical window. Netflix said, okay, just asking again. So The Irishman will open on limited screens on November 1st and hit Netflix 4 weeks later, just in time for Thanksgiving weekend on November 27th.
Everybody put here as a date when he's gonna go.
Which is also, by the way, 2 weeks after the debut of the Disney Plus streaming service. In the end, the 3-hour and 30-minute movie may best be viewed in the comfort of your own home anyway. That November release date hopefully will give it enough distance from the movie arguably leading the fall buzz category, The Joker, which opens in all the theaters on October 4th. Warner Brothers dropped the final trailer this week for the DC Comics origin story, which is not based on the Batman comics. So you can find that trailer on, YouTube. In other trailer news, Netflix also dropped a few trailers for their fall films, some of them hitting theaters in limited release, such as Soderbergh's The Laundromat, and some only streaming on Netflix, such as Sacha Baron Cohen's Israeli spy drama called The Spy. You can check all that stuff out on Netflix's YouTube page.
Nice.
SNL will be without the services of Leslie Jones going forward. Entertainment Weekly confirmed she has departed the show after 4 full seasons. The other rumored cast member departure, Kate McKinnon, will actually be returning this September 28th for her 7th season as a cast member.
What? These fancy cats are seeing God. Meanwhile, I'm starting phase 2, which is me sitting on a stool, while 40 gray aliens take turns gently batting my knockers around.
According to Variety, Endeavor reported second quarter earnings as it prepares to launch its long-awaited but skeptically viewed IPO later this year. The company's revenues were up 33% to just over $1 billion, and overall losses decreased to $67 million for the quarter. However, the big red flag that causes a good deal of that Wall Street eyebrow raising is their debt sheet. Endeavor has $4.6 billion in long-term debt and liabilities of $7.2 billion, with just $830 million of cash on hand. Speaking of IPOs, home spin bike empire Peloton is preparing for their IPO. While they lost almost $200 million last year, using Jay-Z music in your ads doesn't come cheap, they only lose or churn through about 0.65% of their monthly subscribers, who each pay $39 a month. Then again, when you've paid $2,300 for a bike, that's a costly reminder glaring at you each morning if you're not using it.
I want to quit the gym.
Also soon to be public company WeWork has a bit of an HR problem according to the information. Almost a dozen of their HR staff are voluntarily leaving the company, with some, quote, expressing frustration with the company's leadership. Always a good sign when the people hiring at your company are leaving it. On to some mass market retail, because it's back to school time and I have nothing to wear, Mom. Bloomberg News reports that Forever 21 is preparing for a potential bankruptcy, and Lord & Taylor has been sold by Canada's Hudson Bay for $100 million to Le Tote, which is apparently a 7-year-old online clothing subscription site, and not, as someone told me, a companion product to Le Sport Sac. Nice try, Bob. For some scope on where retail is in 2019, 13 years ago, Lord & Taylor was previously sold to a private equity firm for $1.2 billion, a valuation over 12 times its current sale price to Latote. Fun fact, the company selling Lord & Taylor, Hudson Bay, is North America's longest continually operating company, going back to 1670. Digiday reports in from the world of esports, or in layman's terms, watching people play video games and trash talk over their headsets. It has grown into an industry that's targeted to bring in $1 billion in revenue this year, up 27% from 2018. Anyway, Digiday says that Twitch, its main broadcaster, is that what we call them? Hosting service, maybe? Twitch has cut their payments to esports teams for the rights to broadcast their game feeds. So there is now a shift amongst esports teams to start posting their games, matches, on YouTube. Man, I'm so old. Now time for some media bites. The MTV VMA ratings hit a new low on Monday night, according to The Hollywood Reporter. The VMAs tallied up 4.9 million viewers across the 12 Viacom channels it aired across. That's down a scant 6% from last year. Not bad, but down 50% from just 4 years ago. Starz' secret weapon Power debuted to 2.3 million viewers this week, making it the highest rated premiere episode of a premium cable scripted TV series this year outside of Game of Thrones. That's going to be tough to write on a cake. This 6th season will be Power's last. By the way, the most watched show on cable TV overall this summer, any ideas? Was on the Paramount Network. Any guesses? Kevin Costner's Yellowstone. We were looking for Yellowstone. Over at the HBO, they have renewed the Black Lady sketch show for a second season. Strahan and Sarah are getting a third wheel. Keke Palmer, who subbed for Sarah while she was on maternity leave this summer, is being added permanently to the floating third hour of GMA. The show will now officially be called GMA 3, Strahan, Sarah, and Keke. Papa John's hired a new CEO 18 months after it hired its last one. This time they're turning to Arby's, hiring their president to try and crack the code on Papa John's turnaround.
Arby's, the meal that's a dare for your colon.
In corporate espionage news, according to Recode, an Uber executive is facing 10 years in prison for allegedly stealing trade secrets from his former employer, Waymo, who is a leader in the field of self-driving car technology, kind of important to Uber. Apple has apologized for having its contractors listening in on what you would tell Siri without letting you know. Going forward, Apple says they will make it explicitly an opt-in process. For the record, I was asking about where to buy inflatable dolls for a friend's bachelor party. Thank you very much. That's bachelor party. Booming online subscription sports journalism site The Athletic, which has almost 600,000 paying monthly subscribers, will be putting some episodes of their 40-plus podcasts out for free in front of their paywall for the first time, according to Axios. In the world of Instagram influencers, the Wall Street Journal reported that an Argentinian travel influencer account with almost 300,000 followers that is run by a woman named Tupi Savaria was called out on Twitter this week for having a strikingly similar set of clouds behind her in several of her posts, which were supposedly shot in various locations around the world. And finally, a call to fellow Gen Xers. The last humans to exist on Earth who remember a time before the term influencer, it's time for us to give a Beverly Hills High happy birthday shout out to the original OG influencer Brandon Walsh himself, Jason Priestley, who turned 50 this week. Man, I am really old. That's a wrap for today. Subscribe to our email at facebook.com/thewakeup if you want to get actual links to the stories. But then again, this is much more commute friendly. And let's face it, I'm needy and need attention. I'll see y'all tomorrow.